Hey everybody, welcome back. That is the wrong save file. Welcome back. Northernlion hoping to not get the D Infinity this time. Eden Soul. AF620RQM. Interesting. Just absolutely god-awful damage, DPS, etc., etc. But we can make this work. Legitimately, the Tears from Technology, my favorite 9 Inch Nails album, that combined with... That combined with Ludovico, we should be able to do something. I'm actually just gonna cash out ASAP. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Of all the ways to get... I mean, I'm not complaining, because to be honest, we could really use the reroll. But of all the ways to get the D Infinity, an Eden Soul giving us the D Infinity on the first floor is just, like, it's hilarious. You just kind of have to laugh at some point, I think, that, okay, the game wants me to have the D Infinity this week. Another reason I'm not upset about it, sure, why not, is it's hard to make me upset right now. I'm not ill anymore. A little hoarse, a little congested, and, you know, visibly... I don't have the zombie look going on anymore. I had that earlier this week for sure. I can live with that stat change. Sure, why not? All of our items are temporal anyway, so. But feeling pretty good. Slept like a baby last night. Went to the gym for the first time in a week, and it felt just about right. Went out, got some sun today. You know I live in Canada. I'm not saying I went, you know, sun tanning. I went for a drive, basically, is what it came down to. But feeling good, and as a result, you know, it's hard to get me down. Now, I also need to apologize. A couple of videos in just about every series have had no game audio for a bit. It's just something that happens in OBS. It's really hard to catch. And you know, beyond that, after the fact, there's nothing that can be done about it. But you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, but not in this case, because an ounce of prevention in this case is impossible, whereas the cure is actually very easily, you know, implement. Anyway, the point is, I apologize. Hopefully this video does have game audio, otherwise it'll be a very silly sort of thing to be talking about, but hey, I hope you appreciate the irony, one way or the other. You know what? Why not? Hey, it works for me, dude. Now... we're not really looking for the D100 or the D4, to be honest with you. We're more looking for, I mean, we will use it when we get it, and we will get it, inevitably. But, you know, we're fairly content with where we stand right now, I think. I would like to use the D20. Sure, why not? I wanted to use the D20 before we went into the boss fight, which is one room away, just in case, you know, we would have a D6 ready for a deal with the devil or something like that. It's all about temporary survival. If we can survive long enough to reroll ourselves enough times to get to a run that's basically unkillable, then everything's hunky-dory. Which is why I'm a little anxious right now. We did get hit by a champion, but, you know, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about that. I'm gonna take Bomber Boy for the bombs, then reroll our whole run. And I got what I wanted, to be honest, which was stats. Mostly HP, but we got a decent thing going here. It would still be nice to get a deal with the devil. I don't know why I'm dragging my heels on it. Sort of doesn't make sense. Wow, that was just an absolutely horrible roll. It like halved our rate of fire. We're lucky, to be honest, that we have Explosivo. And actually the pencil will help out a lot as well, even though it'll take forever to fire it. But just by having Explosivo, you know, you see it right here. All you need to do is land a shot or two, and then you should be pretty much A-okay to move on from there. But yeah, this sucks pretty hard, temporarily. Hopefully only temporarily. We do have bombs. We do have a Tinted Rock, but I'm hoping this D8 roll will sort us right out. If not, whatever. And I gotta say, today's a Friday. It's pretty good. Lost a lot of speed and range, but who cares? But But let me out. It's a Friday, TGIF. People still say that. If they don't, if anyone could say TGIF, it was somebody that is, you know, of the age where they were 10 when the television programming block TGIF was actually airing. I don't even remember what was on TGIF. TGIF was for the cool kids. I watched a little bit of Everybody Loves Raymond with my parents and grandparents, you know? I know it was like Boy Meets World was on TGIF. Maybe like Sister Sister? I don't remember. It's why when everybody goes, Minkus in the chat, please, I go, yeah, Minkus from Boy Meets World. I know who you're talking about. I don't really know. Got him. Hold on. I got a Discord message here. Let's check in on this one. Oh, okay. It's just... What I was going to say is it's just Mathis, and that's not what I meant. But I know what Mathis is messaging me about it is not time sensitive. Let's go peep our curse room real quick. I gotta say, it's really nice to be back in the Isaac groove. It's not really fair. Most of our wins... Well, I mean, this is like maybe 4 runs in a row where we've had some kind of full run reroll engine. And that's too good. And I mean that in all sincerity. I'm willing to do this too. Probably should not have been, but that's okay. I mean that in all sincerity. It's a little bit too easy to win with the D Infinity, which is why, you know, I hoped that I wouldn't get it. But then once you get it, what the heck are you supposed to do? Just be like, oh, I will not use the D Infinity on this run. I'm going to continue to use it as long as we get it. If we Naruto run, they can't keep giving me the D Infinity forever. Now listen, I know the Area 51 stuff is a meme. I want this to be on record. I'm not encouraging you to go to Nevada or New Mexico. I don't know where Area 51 is. One of the 2 states. We could do a terminal reroll. If we're really feeling risky, we could do a terminal reroll. Lose the D. I think it would lose the D Infinity. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it even before the deal with the devil, just in case. Interesting. Honestly, I think this is a pretty great run still. We also got Eden's Blessing. In fact, I think it's actually a better run now. And it's a pretty fun one. We do have Curse of the Tower, though. I'm not encouraging you to go to the Area 51 raid if the Area 51 raid does indeed happen. But there's always a little sense of electricity in the air when there's like a meme surrounding something that could actually happen in real life. You know what I mean? And even, I get it, like if you're extremely enlightened, you're like, haha, lol, Area 51, I get it, haha. Or sorry, what's the meme? Ahaha, ahaha, anyway, the point is, I think you still gotta take a little bit of... You gotta suspend your disbelief. I don't necessarily think there will be 100,000 people that show up to Area 51. But you know at Area 51 right now, the people that work there are getting briefed about like, you know, okay, this meme has gone viral, what the heck do we do? They must have some kind of protocol in place for if, you know, 100,000 people show up. They might have had it before for all I know. You know, when there's, you know, down... I know that all these military bases and, like, the American military, the Canadian military, etc., they've all got these war games and, you know, battle plans drawn up for all sorts of hypothetical, you know, conflicts. I'm sure America has one for invading Canada. I'm sure America has one for getting invaded by Canada, you know? And probably vice versa, but, you know, it's just something to flex your strategical muscle. But, you know, in reality, there is a side of me that is like, man, I wonder what'll happen if 100,000 people actually show up. I mean, that's like a lot of people. I say 100,000, by the way. There's 500,000 that have RSVP'd on Facebook or something. Probably over 1 million by now. But, just as a thought experiment, not because I think it's necessarily going to happen. It's just interesting to think about. Like, what if 100,000 people showed up at a military base in the United States of America and demanded to be let inside? You know, that's not 100 people where they could just, you know, throw out some pepper spray and then, or arrest them all, even. This is like 100,000 people. I mean, logistically, I just don't even know how you deal with that. I'm assuming there's protocols. But that's a riot. Anyway. Haha, Maymays. Just, come on. I would appreciate it if you stopped. Thank you so much. Okay, I don't really care about going to the shop. Burkano rune's not really worth that much. This run is still very good, though. Allow me to hydrate here temporarily. And allow me to open the door. It's getting a little hot in here. I suppose it is the summertime. But yeah, it's, I'm happy. You know, the weekend's coming up. Last weekend, I was coming down with sickness. This weekend, I mean, by tomorrow, I think I will have no traces of, you know, compromise from the disease anymore, which is really nice. Of course, I will take a piercing shot. It actually did not make our rate of fire worse either. It's always nice. You know, the first few days after an illness, they feel so good. They feel better than your average day, you know? It's like a forest fire allowing the renewal of the forest itself. That's what we got going on here. By having a couple of crappy days, now I'm here recording Isaac, and I'm like, it's a dream come true. To be playing my favorite video game of all time. Wait, this isn't Mario Maker. Cut. Ha ha ha. What am I going to do this weekend? I don't know, okay? Because here's the thing. I used to say that in Pokemon Go, people were way too hard on Niantic. I was like, oh, they're doing their best, okay? And they're doing a pretty good job. But then, those SOBs changed Community Day for slack off. Community Day was on a Saturday afternoon, and it was perfect, and it was beautiful, and I caught several shinies. Now, they're doing a Mudkips Day. Now, I don't know anything about Mudkips, for the most part, except that I looked it up, and apparently his fully evolved form is the second highest DPS water type currently in the game. And I have to admit, I'm low on high DPS water types, okay? I have one Kyogre, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, and that's it. All the other ones escaped me during the extended raid hours, though I'm embarrassed to admit it. It is a better item. So to get a few, you know, evolved Swamperts would be nice, but they moved it. The cowards moved it from Saturday to Sunday. Probably in the interest of fairness or something, making sure everybody gets a chance. Some BS like that. Come on, dude. Saturday is the definitive day. Sunday, absolute. People are gonna be too busy. Okay, there's nothing really to do, but you get the idea. Basically, I'm playing a joke. I'm saying, you know, I wish that it had been on the day that it was more convenient for me, but that's okay. So I don't know. I'll try to participate in Community Day a little bit, but I can't guarantee that I'll get that much out of it. That's fine. I mean, in the end, Community Day, if you don't play Pokemon Go, it's like hundreds of people standing in one place, all throwing virtual Pokeballs, and then going, bro, I got a shiny. Did you get a shiny? How many shinies you get? What's the IV on that shiny you got? How many shinies you got? Dude, the first one I caught was a shiny. I can't believe it. Yo, Jessica caught 3 shinies in a row, dude. It's basically that for 3 hours. So you're not really missing out in a big way. That being said, as somebody who missed out on, you know, 3 years of the Pokemon Go meta, anytime I get an opportunity to, like, you know, improve my roster, I kind of got to take them up on it. Anyway, we'll see about that. I'm also, I will admit, I'm a traitor to the arts. I'm going to see the Disney film The Lion King tonight. And can I tell you, I know it's very easy to be snobby about this movie. I do have to admit that I was wrong. Even having not seen it, I thought that a Lion King remake from the director of the very critically acclaimed Jungle Book remake with this high pedigree cast, I thought there was no way it couldn't be at least modestly critically acclaimed. The reviews are out. People are like, it's technically, like technologically, very impressive, but it's a little soulless. So I accept that. Why am I going to see the movie? because I still want to see that little digital lion get lifted up underneath the African sun, be crowned the new king of the jungle, dude. I need that moment in my life. Moreover, I also am very much looking forward to it, because after seeing Midsommar last week, Midsommar, the movie has not escaped my brain yet. I know it's hard. This exact same thing happened to Hereditary. It doesn't happen to me with many movies, especially not movies with men and women in spandex. Or I should say, not many movies that don't have men and women in spandex fighting purple aliens. But, like Hereditary, Midsommar has wormed its way into my brain. I'm reading articles about this movie every day. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, for sure. One of my favorite horror movies ever. However, it's an unpleasant watch. It's not something where you're like, oh, you want a nice quiet day at the movie theater? Oh, we have tarot cloth. Should have known by looking, but that's okay. Oh, you just want to, hey, what do you want to do today? You just want to go see just a nice casual movie? Okay, here's Midsommar. It'll, you know, hopefully you don't have any recent trauma in your life that this is going to dredge up, or, you know, you might end up having to go to the hospital. Hold on. Hold up the front door, dude. I wanted to know what that did. The world card. Okay, okay, here's what you do. We go fight mom. Go to boss rush, take an item, teleport out, redo the entire floor, use the world card to figure out where we're going. Might even be able to sneak out of boss rush one more time. We'll see. But Midsommar is a harrowing watch. You know, I think if you know what's coming and you're watching it on a second attempt, you could be like, okay, you could relax a little bit more, but the first time you're like, what is happening, dude? The Lion King is like the exact opposite of that. I'm assuming. I don't know if they're going to throw you for some kind of serious loop. Probably not, I think is fair to suggest. I think we do want to take the Judas' Shadow attempt here. Then we'll Hermit card out. And then move along with our lives here by doing the exact same floor over again. But yeah, and I still... There's just something... You know, I've talked about in the past, like I grew up in a town... I mean, the town that was close to where I lived was not even that big, but I'm talking about the town near where I live. I'm talking about, you know, Kingston, Ontario. Because I lived there, people always, it was like glamorized when you go to the big city, right? So people would be like, yo, for my birthday, we're going to drive up to Toronto and see a Toronto Maple Leafs game. You were like, what? That's amazing, dude. Yo. My dad drove me to Ottawa, and I saw, you know, U2 and the Arcade Fire open for them. I don't know. They were pretty weird. I don't know if they're ever going to go anywhere. You know, that was like a huge deal. Whatever. We'll just take it. From, in like, our... Not like social circle, but like the geographic circle of people that, you know, grew up where I grew up. Now that I live in a major city, I don't take anything for granted. Even something as simple as going to the movies, to be honest with you. Like, I talked about it with respect to sporting events. Like, I might see, and this is a lot, by the way. Like, I'm not saying this is a little. I might see 4 Vancouver Canucks games a year. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Yo, the Emperor. That's extremely useful. I'm sorry! It's not a little, at least. Let's put it that way. And every time I go, there are sometimes I go and I'm annoyed because the team plays badly. Or, you know, people in the stands are behaving like adult babies despite being older than me. And it's just, like, kind of sad. But either way... I don't mean adult babies like, you know, oh, their baby was crying. How selfish. I mean adult babies like yelling really, really disgusting stuff onto the ice, or like wanting to get into a fight with somebody else in the stands over a game of ice puck. Anyway, the point is, Despite all that, anytime I go to a game, I'm still like, oh my god, I'm at a major stadium. I'm at a stadium that if you play like NHL 19, like growing up, I've been playing all the hockey games, you know, and I'd be like, oh my god, I'm in one of those right now. It's still crazy to me. And I don't take it for granted. And it's the same way, as bizarre as it sounds, yo, this is pretty excellent, that I feel about going to the movies. I'm always just happy to be at the movies. Even if the movie is not that good, I'm not like, it's a waste of time. I just like going to the movies. It's taken me a while to get to the point where I feel like I don't have to apologize for that. I know that a lot of people do not like going to the movies, and that's fine. I see posts on the internet sometimes. People are like, this is the reason I haven't been to a movie theater since, like, District 9 came out. And I'm like, man, it's like, you haven't been to the movie theater in 11 years? This is where I say, like, you know, different strokes for different folks. But I'm like, dude, it's not that bad. I'll be a little controversial, okay? I think that overall demeanor at movie theaters, the number of positive and negative experiences I've had at movie theaters, has been roughly consistent throughout my whole life. I don't think people have gotten worse at theaters. The one thing that has popped up a lot more now is people using their phones during a movie. And even that, I don't know if it, you know, might vary on a location basis, but even that, you know, it happens now and then, but it doesn't happen that often for me. And most of the time, it's like self-management to some extent. Like if I'm watching like a movie where your investment is not really that important, and somebody pulls up their phone, I catch myself getting mad over it. And I'm, you know, if you're like righteously mad, you're like, well, they shouldn't pull out their phone during the movie. But then you're like, why am I actually allowing myself to get upset about this? You know, so they checked their texts in the middle of Booksmart. Like, does that actually affect your enjoyment of the film? I think it only affects your enjoyment if you let it weasel its way into your brain. You know what I mean? It's one of those like anger is seductive sort of things. My God, this run is good. Sure. I mean, I'm not gonna take everything, but I will take Abaddon. And then, I mean, I had a lot of bad experiences as a teenager in movie theaters. Not like traumatic experiences, but I mean, I've told lots of talking, but there was also like one experience where a man like who had a caretaker somehow had snuck into our movie theater. I know this story sounds ridiculous, but you know, there was just an obviously not fully coherent man seeing Zach Braff's follow-up to Garden State, The Last Kiss, which is an absolutely garbage film, for the record. Would not recommend seeing it if you have not at this point. I loved Garden State when it came out. I was like, dude, I gotta see The Last Kiss when it opens. I saw it, and I was like, he's dead to me. I mean, I got no problem with Scrubs. But as a filmmaker, he lost me in the hugest way possible. But anyway, and he was like groaning throughout the film and like shouting expletives at the screen, and he had also snuck in, or was not stopped from bringing in, like a full meal from McDonald's. And there was no nearby McDonald's at this point, which was even more bewildering. And it was not like, I don't really care if anybody smuggles food into the movie theater, but like, you know, I was like, it smells great, dude. You've infected the rest of the movie theater with the smell of McDonald's French fries. And if anything, pardon me, if anything, the big negative there is that, like, I'm envious. So that was a bad one. I've been in the movies, sometimes I had to tell people to shut up. I don't like doing it, but I have done it. But I haven't had to do it in like 10 years. I actually think the movie theater etiquette is like largely okay. The only thing that comes up a lot now is like, one is, now that there's assigned seating, people not being in their right seat and being in your seat instead. And you're like, you know, I get it. You're like, what if the people who got the best seats, which means they had to buy tickets as early as possible, choose not to show up? I assure you it probably does happen, but we're not cut from that DNA. Take somebody else's seats. I'm not afraid to say something either. And then the other one is like, and it doesn't bother me. It just it's kind of, I don't know, depending on the situation. I think I only noticed this because I'm an adult. It probably happened when I was a kid as well and didn't notice, but people like smuggling alcohol into the movie theater. Our theater is not licensed because we are in the freaking like 1910s or something. And then like drinking it during the movie. And there's sometimes, you know, if it's like a bunch of young adults, they're seeing a fun movie, I'm like, I get it. The statute of limitations is up. You know, me and Mal did it. Probably like 15 times. But I saw pardon me, like Midsummer, and there was like a man my age appeared to go to the movies like with his mom. And I am being very judgy here. I'll just say that. I'll own it right to begin with. And then when I left the movies, he had left like 7 beer cans in and around his seat, and I was just like, oh man, that's like, that paints like a tragic story. He wasn't causing a disruption, and I mean maybe they were splitting them, which it does make it better. It makes it a little bit less sad. It's more like a party at that point, I guess. But at the same time, it was a little bit of like, that's a yikes. That's not a movie where that's gonna really, like, hey, want to get hammered and see a horror meditation on grief? You know, I don't think that's really where you want to go with that direction. But again, that's as long as they're not disrupting people. I mean, it's making slightly more work for the cleaning staff, but it's as noble as I'll get about it. Like, yeah, that's an issue they got to tease apart for themselves, as long as they're not bothering other people in the theater. Either way, though, for now, thanks for watching. That was the fastest run I've had. Please, God, don't give me the D-Infinity next time. I beg you for variety. If you enjoyed the episode, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, though, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!